Hello, readers. Today I will tell you a story about love and deception in love and marriage. If you like it, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel to hear more stories. Love you all. My name is Emily. I am 35 years old. My husband's name is Daniel. He is 40. We have been married for 10 years and have a young son named Noah. In the past, our life was simple, but happy. Every evening after dinner, Daniel would make tea for both of us. We would sit together on the balcony, talking about work, about the little things that happened during the day, and then laugh for a long time. I used to think that life would last forever, but in the last few months, Daniel changed. He became cold and silent. Every day he goes to work early in the morning and comes home very late. When he gets home, he just eats in silence, watches TV for a few minutes, and then goes to bed. No more gentle questions, no more caring glances, and no more unexpected hugs from behind in the kitchen like before. I told myself he was just tired. His company is under a lot of pressure. Daniel is the manager, so he probably has too much to handle. I try to be understanding. I take care of Noah, keep the house warm, and continue waiting for him to come home every night. But day by day, I feel more and more like I'm living with a stranger. One weekend evening, I sent Noah to my grandmother's house. I wanted to spend some time alone with my husband. I cooked his favorite beef stew, wore the red dress Daniel had once complimented, and waited for him. When the door opened, my heart raced. But Daniel just walked past me as if he didn't see me. He sat down to eat in silence and went straight into the bedroom. Not a word of praise, not a glance, not a smile. I sat alone at the cold dinner table, and for the first time in my life, I felt lonely in my own home. That night I couldn't sleep. I lay next to Daniel, but the distance between us felt like 1,000 miles. I knew that if we continued to be silent, we might lose each other forever. So before he fell asleep, I quietly asked, "Daniel, can we talk?" He looked at me, slightly surprised. "Now?" I nodded. We sat down on the sofa in the living room. The room was so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat. I tried to stay calm, but tears were already welling up in my eyes. "You've been so different lately," I whispered. "You don't talk to me anymore." Daniel lowered his head in silence. I took a deep breath and asked the question I feared most. "Do you still love me?" He looked at me with weary eyes. "Of course I do. I'm just under too much pressure." I wanted to believe him. I sincerely wanted to believe him, but a woman's intuition told me something had changed. After a few seconds of silence, I asked again, "There's someone else, isn't there?" Daniel immediately shook his head. "No, I've never betrayed you." He took my hand and whispered, "Give me more time. I'll try to change." I nodded. But deep down, I knew I was slowly losing the man who had loved me more than anyone in the world. The days that followed remained unchanged. Daniel continued to come home late. He continued to be silent. He continued to live as if I didn't exist. There were nights I sat alone in the dark living room and wondered, why can love make people so lonely? Another evening, I sent Noah to my grandparents' house again. I thought maybe if we just spent more time together, things would get better. But when Daniel came home, he went straight to his study. No greeting, no question. The door closed softly behind him. I stood in front of that door for a long time. My hand went to knock, but then I lowered it. I went back into the kitchen and poured myself a cup of hot tea. But when I brought it to my lips, the tea had already gone cold. And then a heartbreaking thought appeared in my head. Maybe he's forgotten who I am. Not forgotten my name, but forgotten how deeply he once loved me. The next morning, I woke up to find the empty space beside me. Daniel had left very early. No greeting, no farewell kiss. Not even a gentle touch. I lay there staring at the ceiling for a long time. My heart was so weary I no longer had the strength to be angry. That evening, while Daniel was still working in his room, I quietly packed a few clothes into a bag. For me. And for Noah, then I sat down and wrote a letter. "I still love you." I tried to wait with all the patience I had, but I can't continue living as an invisible person anymore. I miss your heart, more than your presence. I placed the letter on the table and took Noah's hand as we left the house. The night sky was cold. But for the first time in months, I felt myself walking toward healing. I stayed at my mother's house for about a week. Then Daniel texted me. He said he missed me. He missed Noah. He said the house felt empty without the laughter of you and Noah. He begged me to come back and promised to change. Because I still loved him, I softened. I went back. One quiet evening after putting Noah to bed, I went down to the living room. Daniel's phone was on the table, and he was in the bathroom. I didn't intend to look at it. I really didn't intend to. But the phone screen suddenly lit up. A message appeared. From a woman. I miss you. Did you think about me today? My hands trembled. My heart stopped beating. I didn't need to open anything else. That one message alone was enough to destroy all the remaining faith I had left. When Daniel came out of the bathroom, he was as calm as if nothing had happened. As for me, I felt like the whole world had collapsed. That night he slept soundly, and I lay with my back to him, crying in silence. I had given that man my youth, me love, my whole life, and yet he gave his tenderness to someone else. The next morning, I wasn't crying anymore. I wasn't screaming or complaining either. I just sat silently at the dining table. When Daniel walked into the kitchen, I looked at him and softly said, I saw the message. He stood there speechless. No denial. No explanation. After a long silence, he just bowed his head. I'm sorry. At that moment, I understood that everything was truly over. Not because I no longer loved him, but because I couldn't continue to lose myself anymore. That night, I packed again. This time, I no longer hoped he would hold me back. I took Noah's hand and walked out of the house that had once been my whole world. My heart ached unbearably, but deep down, I understood one thing. Sometimes love isn't enough to keep a marriage going. Sometimes the bravest thing a woman can do is choose to save herself. And I chose peace instead of continuing to live in suffering. If you were in their shoes, which solution would you choose? Please leave a comment to show your choice.